Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So I want to talk about Valentine and Anna for a minute because from the beginning, I it was hard for me to take the stakes seriously with Charlotte being in that boarding school by Victor. Because here's the thing, he seemed like he's really worried, like, oh, Victor's gonna sit there and do something. And one, I'm like, that's your dad. I'm pretty sure he's not going to hurt Charlotte. Number two, if he was so, I don't understand how this dude's sitting there talking about he's so worried about Charlotte, this, that, and the third, and yet he's sitting there sleeping with Anna, and I'm like, I thought you were worried. Listen, I don't care how bad a chick is. If I'm worried about one of my family members being hurt, killed, or whatever, I'm pretty sure it's gonna lower my drive to want to sleep with anyone. But apparently hugging and kissing the next day, but talking about, oh man, I'm so worried about Charlotte. I got a text from Charlotte. She just doesn't understand why I can't be with her. It's funny, you seem like you were worried yesterday. Now it turns out that he wants to use Nina to help with this whole plan thing as far as taking down Victor. Which, by the way, where's Lucy? Like, seriously, one minute she was on the hunt to star, and I mean, is she okay? Is she locked up in a dungeon somewhere? Like, what's going on? Also, side note, two things. One, I heard Esme is going to be coming back soon, so I'm happy about that. Two, the other actress that played Brooklyn for a little bit, the one that like was during the whole throat slashing thing, she's going to be coming back for a day. So that's going to be a thing. I mean, to be honest, I'm okay with it. Like, I was cool with her being Brooklyn. It took me a little bit, but I was okay with her being Brooklyn. I don't think the transition is that bad. It's sort of like on days where you have the two different actresses that plays Jennifer. They both do great jobs. So I'm cool with either one of them just going back. And I think they've actually, both of them have actually been on there enough times where it's like they've both been really good. Unlike the Michael that was substituting for Chad Duo, it was just like, nah, this is not working. But yeah, so that's Valentine's plan after talking to Nina about Charlotte and everything like that. Because, Anna's like, yo, listen, I don't want to use no civilian. That's funny. Once you got all the information that you needed, as far as what Valentine was hiding, you still kept using Lucy. But then again, after a while, Lucy wanted to sit there and stay in the game because she was having fun, and it was cool because, it gave her something to do. So when Victor comes into the jail, he's walking and he sees Spencer and he's like horrified. He's like, thinking this dude is literally getting the crap kicked out of him every day or whatever, or at least once. But it turned out that the inmates are just finding new ways to mess with him since they know that he's protected. They're doing things like making sure he's not eating, stealing his clothes, and just really just messing around with him. Just really, and of course, a couple of threats that happen as well. Um, he doesn't about Trina. He still don't give two F's about his father. And I think that's about it. No one has came to see him yet, which is probably for good reasons. Because he seemed like he didn't even. I mean, he was happy to see Victor, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want Trina to see him that way. So Victor is hella pissed off, but Spencer's like, yo, listen, if you try to interfere, you're just gonna make things worse. Right now, I just need to keep my head down and just get through it. So after Victor leaves, he's working in a library. And of course, one of the shady guards decides to just duck out And some guy comes in there and starts messing with him, knocking the books out of his hand and stuff like that. And it's all like, oh, pick it up or whatever. He's like, yo, no, I'm not going to do it. So he walks away, and the guy comes up and hits him, but it looks so bad. I get that you have to just have a certain level of disbelief. Like, he really hit him hard. He fell to the ground, and he was all like, or whatever. But just the way he hit him, and the way he was on the ground, it just looked like he was just like taking a nice little comfortable nap on the ground. Like especially the way his head and this was, it was just like man, you dude looks really comfortable. And I get that that's not how it's supposed to be, but um, it looked really bad. But since I have no idea how much longer he has in jail, I'm assuming this is just the first of many. Because with soap operas and time and stuff like that, it's like you have no idea what's the length of time that actually passes by in these shows. Um, I'm curious of what Mrs. Wu wants with Chase. Um, at some point, Chase comes to the Metro Court to thank Nina. And, Selena's all like, hey, I'm looking forward to your performance and stuff like that. And when he talks to Sonny, he's like, I want to thank Nina. And Sonny was like, no, she didn't have anything to do with that. And you didn't really want help from me. And he thinks about it. He's like, oh, Miss Wu, probably vouched for him. But, again, the question is, what does Miss Wu want with Chase? I have a feeling that if he does get reinstated, it's going to be because of her, and it's going to be because he wants to use her. I mean, because she wants to use him. Oh yeah, Chase and Brooklyn are still planning that um, take Link down and make him really successful, and then when he signs on to him, he's gonna leave him high and dry and looking stupid. I'm like, yeah, it still seems like a stupid plan. I didn't know, like when Brooklyn came by and she started cleaning out his refrigerator and stuff like that. I didn't realize how much stuff can actually hurt somebody's vocal cords, like coffee. Um, I know stuff like with like citric acid, like orange juice, but I didn't know anything about like sugar. Like she took dairy, milk. I'm like, I mean, granted, I'm not a singer and I don't know what stuff can hurt vocal cords or not, but it was just kind of interesting, and I'm assuming that some of this stuff is true. Um, yeah, their plan is still stupid. Oh, Nicholas, acting like acting like the privileged prick that we all know and can't stand. Um, he comes up to Finn. He's like, "Yo, listen, I don't need you getting into my business with my wife or whatever." And Finn was like, "Yo, listen, Liz had to sit there and tell the truth, and that's just how it had to be." But when he was trying to walk past him, Nick grabbed his arm and he was like, "Yo." You just had that look where somebody like touches you or bumps into you on purpose or grabs your arm while you're trying to walk away, and you're just like, you almost have that reflex to automatically hit this person. They get to arguing, and Nicholas is all like, "Oh, well, she only messed up because of you." At this point, Finn's like, "Yo, listen, I'm done," and they're about to start fighting. Luckily, Alexis and Gregory, they were talking earlier, and they stopped the fight and broke them apart. Um, and of course, Nick was sitting there talking about Finn, and Finn was sitting there talking about Nick with Gregory and Alexis. Nothing really came of it, but they were just kind of venting and letting off some steam. Um, Now Nicholas did come to pick up Ava. Nina was there. Nina was like, "I want you to sit there and stay with me." And I don't remember what she said, like if she was or she was not. But by the time that Nicholas got there, Ava decided to change her mind and stay with Nicholas. And Nicholas seemed like he was kind of bummed, but I'm like, bro, you cheated. Like, you get no sympathy at that point. You really don't. You know, it's one thing I get. No, no, the cheating, like, it just. I feel like that's just something that you can't really come back from without, let's say, making it even Steven. But I just, other than that, I don't feel like that's something you can really come back from. All the therapy in the world, and I feel like that just wouldn't help. But that's just me. Liz was vouching for what's the guy's name? Nicholas. I mean, no, yeah. Liz is vouching for Nicholas with Ava as far as, listen, I get that he has his dark times, but when he's really loving and caring and stuff like that, like he has a good heart when he wants to show it. And and she basically was like, the only time I saw him like that was with one other person. Not like any of that really mattered because again, the cheating and the confessions and even with all that, um, she wanted no parts of it. But Liz did was thinking about Finn's wife, and when she walked up to Gregory and they were talking for a little bit, Liz was like, what do you know about Finn's late wife? It kind of ends at that point. I don't really understand why that matters. I don't feel like Rocco, whatever her name was, she obviously didn't die on those stairs if she died from that Blackwood syndrome. So I don't really understand. I don't really get it. I don't really understand where they're going with that. I would like to find out, but unfortunately, we're taking like several years, so who knows? So Sonny said he was going to go on that whole fact finding mission, and yet he's not there chilling out with Nina talking about Nicholas and how bad Nicholas is for Ava, and I'm just like, you realize that you got a guy tied up with a guy who is like a professional torturer, and you're supposed to be going on this fact finding mission, and you're just kind of hanging out, making out with her. I guess we're gonna get back to that at some point, right? Was even talking to Miss Wu about it's bad for business, and it seems like the people that are being attacked is close to Sunny. Now, I have a feeling that Miss Wu may be involved with that. To make it look like somebody's going after Sunny and stuff like that, making it look weak, and um, that's just my best guess. Other than that, they didn't really talk about too much of anything else. Other than Sunny and Nina, for that matter. It seemed like they were kind of wasted for the first 15, 20 minutes of this episode. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much about it. At least all the pertinent information. So, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see everyone in the next video. Have a great, safe weekend.